Hi guys, welcome back to another P3D version 5 video. A couple of videos ago I did the quality wings of RJ, but today we are doing the Just Flight BAe 146, and in front of us we have the 200 version, the cargo version of the 200 model. So it's the one in the middle. You have the 100, the 200 and the 300 model, with the 300 being the most stretched out one. And we are donning an Air V cargo livery, which we also used a couple of flights ago when we flew with the 747. And this is one of the virtual airlines I'm active in, and it has some nice liveries and alternative planes to fly and some nice routes. And we'll today be flying from Heathrow, which is where I usually start for this when I fly for this virtual airline, and then we'll fly to Maastricht. I think it's Maastricht. I think EHBK. So it'll be a pretty decent flight. Nothing too long, nothing too short. A pretty nice jump with this little aircraft. And as you can see, the exterior is much better than the Quality Wings ones because it's a much newer design. I think this one is really kind of showcasing what Just Flight could have developed if they had developed some more aircraft for Prepar3d, because they did this also for Microsoft Flight Sim. The exterior model is kind of the same as for Microsoft Flight Sim. You can take liveries from the Microsoft version and just vertically switch the texture, and you'll get a lot of different liveries for this aircraft in P3D. So it's a really nice, it's a well done plane on the outside. Let me see if you can open some of the doors and stuff. I think you have a, let me see, there's supposed to be, maybe it's in the aircraft actually. We do also have a checklist. Without sound though, but you can kind of like, you know, go through it. So let's see if we do that. We can open up the things with this one. I think it has a GSX profile, but if I remember correctly, it's pretty bad, unfortunately. Let's put in our weights. You can do it through outside the sim, or you can do it I think here through the EFB. So I'm actually gonna go and check my online flight plan through the Compass A-cars for Air Vigo. We'll have 81 passengers, so not that many. And I am, can you put it? You maybe can't, so 0 fuel weight might be the best. 71. Oh, sorry, that was in kilos. So, like that. And then total fuel weight. And that should be 10. So there we go. A gross weight of around 91. We actually don't need, or actually we do need. Now I'm just trying to figure out why it's now the gross weight is correct. Yeah, 81. Very nice. We can go to cold and dark just to make sure we are on that. And then let me raise the volume a bit. And let's have a look on the outside. I think you have some of these other ones as well for cargo. And I think we can press operate stairs. At least we have cargo. We'll do Dinata. As you can see though, it doesn't seem to, oh there's actually, so maybe we'll have a working cargo loading with this one. Let's see. I've had some issues with it before with the GSX profile, but maybe it's been fixed. First off, batteries. As you can see, it's kind of the same as this one. Is more high fidelity on the inside, really beautiful inside textures, of course. No rain effects on the windshields though, so that's a bit of a bummer, but otherwise really nice. You have some of the exterior model in the interior modeling. Same with these. You do have a cabin in the passenger version, and here you can see we have the nice the cargo also. So that's pretty cool. In terms of how the exterior power works, I am that was definitely not the button for that. Let me see, I think you put on batteries and then there's some way you get the, let me see here, ground power, there we go. Me totally missing that. Let me see if we have gotten any ground power or if it's on its way. Yeah, it's on its way. Nothing visual. Yeah, it's something visually, right? So I guess you could, with the GSX interaction, you could have that nicely. We can try the GSX. You need to stop the engines to request. Could have been that when I pressed that start, it by mistake started kind of everything. Let's see that everything is shut down nicely. Not sure why those engines haven't shut down yet. There we go. Now I think we'll have, because I just want to make sure we get this GSX right. So additional services, request GPU. There we go, now the engines are shut. So, what we want to do, we have everything loaded, so that's nice. We have the gross weights. We want to put on the batteries. And then the ground power, which I'm gonna request. I'm also gonna put the stairs here. Let's see if we do have that. Not sure why.
Cabin crew, arm doors and cross check.
Seems like there's some minor bugs, or it could be actually that I need the external power. Let's see. Or hydraulics, maybe that might be the issue. Let's see. I'll do this first pump just so I remember that for the APU once we get to that. We'll check up here. Beacon and nav lights. You can have those on, the nav lights. No smoking. We can do a quick fire test. As you can see, it works on this one, so that's nice. Then I think it's the DC pump that should be sufficient. I'll do the spoilers. Auto spoiler seems to be inoperative. Avionics masters and yaw dampener masters. Now let me check if we can open. Nothing. Let me check if there's something more that needs to be on. For some reason I can't get that to work with me. But not the end of the world. Let's see, we'll start the boarding process. I think we can. Almost looks pretty good with the APU. Placement is a bit too far away, I guess, with the GSX one. Either no passenger stairs, you'll not see. Okay, so no passenger stairs. We don't need to board any crew then. I'll remove that. And let's see if we get anything. Doesn't seem like they have any. Well, those do have some items on there. There we have an A320 landing, I think, or a 90 maybe. Okay, but yeah, let's continue our setup. I don't think we need these other pumps. We can keep the DC pump on, or is it the AC pump actually that? I'll keep the DC one and the AC one just to make sure. Then we don't need to put on the APU yet. We can arm the lights on the flight deck. Let me see if there's something here that should be armed. I think that one as well. And then let me see, we have auto on this one. So I don't think we need to set anything here. And yeah, otherwise pretty good night lighting as well and stuff, so that's nice to see. And here let's just do TARA, so we have that set. We can put this to on for the brake temp. We can put these radio switches on as well. We do have a weather radar, which is great to see. I think it's connected to Active Sky, but don't quote me on it. And then we have this universal that works pretty well. If you remember my video with the Majestic, they were separate, but here they're combined, so there's no exfil or similar. So we'll accept the version. But it's otherwise a pretty good working one. Some bugs though, so all the bugs I've seen with this aircraft is related to this FMC. But it's otherwise a pretty good one. Just wish they could have worked out the bugs. And of course release the other RJ version, that would have been awesome. But they will do that for Microsoft Flight Sim. So let's see, nav data. AirAC looks okay. Cabin displays, EFIS displays, master exfil, so this is the exfil, right? Yeah, so most of this, so you go to main instead, config. Doesn't seem to be any info there. So let's see, I think you can start with flight plan. So we already have our departure. And then we want to do our arrival, I think. And then the way you do this is you press, I think. Let me see, you go to menu. Oh, you can do the departure here, right? So which runway? It's 27 right, so that's quite a taxiway, but let's do 27 left instead. That should work with we will be departing the opposite direction of the plane that just landed, right? But it's not the end of the world. Okay, so 27 left. The SID they want us to do is det, so we do det 2G instead. Flight plan, just have a quick look, looks good. Then here we can start to insert and if you want to do airways, you'll do like that. And then wait, let me see, maybe it's like this, right? List airways. And the airway we want to do is Q70. Not sure we're getting the airways here. But I'm pretty sure it should work. Let me do it like this instead. We'll delete that waypoint, then list. Now airways, there we go. So just me messing it up. So airways 5, going to Maddox 7, and then we have a direct to Nick, list airways, no airways from Nick, to Sorat. Okay, let's see if we write Sorat here, that works. Let me go back to flight plan. Let me see, I think I messed something up. As you can see, there's like these tiny things that just let me see if I can put our I really don't get this. Cancel. Let me see if I can remove this one. Nick. Airways from Nick. Or maybe we can just do it like this instead. Okay. At least that should help us. I hope. Okay, now we seem to have gotten rid of the Nick issue. Or have we? No clue, but we will just have to do for now. Let's try with Sorat. There we go. And there should be some on the road, or some here between. So that's let me see if we can get the FMC on the 2D display and just see if we can force it's always something acting up. Let's see if we write LSIC. Okay, now we can delete that. We'll do LSIC and then Sorat. That should be sufficient to get us where we want to go. I'm gonna see if we can delete this waypoint because it's totally unnecessary with Tunic. Sorat and then Oskos. So yeah, it works as you can see, but with some bugs, which I guess they kind of stopped caring for once they went Microsoft Flight Sim, unfortunately. Let me see, and what we want to do now, and I guess it makes sense, right, if the money was there, but sad nevertheless. We'll do runway 1, 5. Let's see if we'll do a transition. I'm just gonna do pilot to ADC now as well. 27 left. Det to G. Star. 3. Osk goes, yes. Approach, transition. There's a mass transition, but there's also a vectors. So let's do the vectors one. You'll see we'll have to make a bit of a turn like this. So let's see if we get that. So we can just do 1, then flight plan, and let's see now. So this looks good. Bogru, Ansul. Then we don't really have anything here in terms of the landing kind of phase. And I guess that makes sense unless you can put them in here like that. So it does actually work to put them in manually, I've noticed. So for the approach. Good. Now that should be our flight plan. And I'm also quickly here on my other screen, I'm just gonna change our call sign, connect to the sim, and let's see if the Prepar3d bugs out. It usually tends to do that at EGLL, unfortunately, but I've had issues. Let me see if I can. So we're waiting for taxi with compass. That's a good sign. Totally must have missed that. They have probably finished up everything here in terms of the boarding. So that's good. After you've done the list here, you'll go to fuel. We don't have any packs, right? So what I usually do here is I guess I put 0 and then cargo, which we'll fill in. I just take from this one just to make sure we get it right. And we don't have a lot of cargo. I'm gonna check our online flight plan, because that should align. Our payload should be about, so empty weight is 54, then it's 64. It's about 16, right? So 18.4 according to the plan, according to the sim brief plan. So that's 18.4. I see now we have a really, so our basic weight should actually be put in first, which is 54,230. And we still have a really low cross weight, which makes sense though, because we don't have the fuel yet. So in terms of fuel, we will do alternate fuel 3216. We'll do hold. I don't think we have any specific for that, so we can just put 0. And then extra where I add the continue and the final reserves around 18.5. Our total reserves are 5066, which does add up. And our total fuel is 10,000. There we go, gross weight of 82.6. It's a bit higher than here, but I think that's because there's a bit of a discrepancy with the cargo. Even though I do think the 0 fuel weight, and let me just double check, is correct. The 0 fuel weight is correct, as well as the fuel. So there's somewhere... no, because we only have the takeoff weight. I guess if we lose a bit of fuel... I guess we have a bit less cargo here than I counted maybe, but... small differences. I guess the empty weight is lower on this one than the one calculated from the sim brief. So that's probably the reason why. Let's see here, anything else we need to add? Gross weight. Yeah, temp. Okay, looks good. Let me see if there's anything else. Nav mode looks good with the green one being here. And on the flight plan as well, or being purple. Fuel is good. So nothing else, both of these are now ready. And what I'll do is I'll shut all these doors. No sound. Or maybe a bit of sound, but you can't really hear them. This one is also really beautiful livery, I must say. I like the Airwee cargo one, kind of the blue. It's a good look for being like a virtual airline. I could see a real airline donning this. And I guess the name is pretty good. Airwee cargo. Airwee go. It's quite a, I guess, a bit play of words. And as you can see, since I only have the AG models, we have some really nice, the AI aircrafts now, they look really nice. I also upped the ante a bit in terms of percentages, so we get a bit more, which is always nice to see a bit more live, and so it's nice to kind of admire the good AI models, because those takes a bit of skill as well to make. Next step, what we can do is put this on, of course, because we didn't have that on. We can do the flight director bars on both sides for our co-pilot as well. There's no alignment thingy here. I'm not sure how that works, but look at that. You have the checks for the oxygen mask. That's cool. Can you open the window? Nah, you can't. But yeah, I do like the fact that they do have this manual. It would be nice if they had the V1 and that sort of speeds as well, that you could insert, but doesn't seem like it. You can control the V1 though, I think, with the use of oh yeah, and then you have all these. But I don't think we need the checklist actually, even though I was thinking of using it. But I think you can control these. They're a bit fickle, but it's with the scroll wheel, right? But I'm wondering if they have any sort of assistance. You know, sometimes they will add like an, you know, for, oh, here it is. This is the one. So you choose your flap setting, I think. It's based on your, so there we know our V1 and VR, so we'll do 123 for V1 and VR, or 120 maybe for V1 and 123 VR, and then 131. So then the way we would do this, oh, it sets automatically maybe. Okay, that's cool. So at least you have that, you don't need to do the performance calculations yourself. What we should though do is power this one on. So this is like the thrust management computer, since we don't have an auto throttle. That's only the Avro RJ. But once we wait for that, we can arm these standby. Maybe we should have done these already actually, together with the external AC. Yeah, that could have been the case. But not the end of the world. We'll start the APU. Takes a bit of time, which seems reasonable and realistic. So we shall wait. In terms of the autopilot, you can control pitch here, you have the APU here, you have the yaw dampener here. I'm gonna put those on so I don't forget. But otherwise, and the vertical speed, I guess that's what you kind of put yourself in with the pitch mode. Then you have like a specific vertical speed, or it's that you put yourself, you know, you climb in a certain way and then you put vertical speed. I guess IIS, I've heard, is quite one of the more popular ways to climb with this aircraft. Okay, we get the APU power available. We'll start the APU generator. We'll put on the APU air. Anything else that we need to do? Yeah, the fuel pump, since we're going to be starting soon. Let's check. Beacon should be going on. Engine anti-ice. We can ready the starter for that. And let's see now, I'm going to call the IFR clearance. Airwee go 4003, ready to copy IFR clearance.
EHBK 4003 is cleared to Echo Hotel Bravo Kilo. Climb via the Det 2 Golf departure, with the Det transition, then is filed. Expect departure runway 27 left.
Let me check if there's anything down here that we need to start. No. You have some test buttons that seem to work, so that's nice. Pretty high fidelity, I would say this is a high fidelity aircraft. Okay, Squawk 4436.
Is cleared to Echo Hotel Bravo Kilo. Climb via the Det 2 departure.
And where's the Squawk on this one?
Then is filed. Climb to
There we
flight
go.
level 060 via the departure.
44.
Expect higher clearances 3 minutes after departure. Radar director
I think that
on
was.
134.907.
Oh, it didn't change. That sucks.
Squawk
4436.
4436.
There we go. Now we should have it, and we have our TCAS system here, right? I think you can.
Altimeter is 3000.
Maybe you
Here
can't.
we go 4003.
I was wondering what the range of the TCAS, but let's see. As you can see, we don't have like the EFIS panels. We just have the basic analog gauges with this one. Let's see what else we can. As for pushback, here we go 4003. We're ready for pushback.
EHBK 4003 pushback approved.
We'll do that.
Pushback approved. Here we go 4003.
We can dismiss the GPU the same way as we can close the. I think those bus ties should also actually be on auto. That might have been a miss by me. I can't get the stairs to work on this one. That's interesting. But maybe some of them don't have the inbuilt stairs option, so that's actually something that could make sense. That could be a reason, right? Start power is on. That's good. That's good. Anything else that's on auto? Normal. Voltage looking good. So yeah, things are looking good.
Ground to cockpit, ready for pushback.
Okay, we're getting the pushback now, so that's also good. Perfect. And let's see now. Sorry, I had to pause there just real quickly. But it all should be back and running. You won't notice it in the video though, but there we go. Okay, so we are looking ready. They're asking us to oh, the guy is somewhere he should not supposed to be. We can disconnect that ground power. There we go. Let's just see if we've forgotten anything. Doesn't look like it. We can release parking brake and we'll be on our way. Let me just check what altitude did they want us to climb. Oh wait, sorry, GSX, please set parking brake. Sorry. God, I got a bit too eager. Flight level 060, which is kind of this one you usually get here at EGLL. Let's see how long they'll keep us stay at that altitude. I'm gonna arm it because I have a tendency to forget it otherwise. Even though I guess you would want to start the engines and stuff before you arm that. Let's do the test on this one as well. Let's see, I think you do that test by looking at the, is it the outside weather you take as reference? Okay, and we'll be pushing with nose left, tail right. Sucks that we don't have any cargo planes near us, that would have been cool to see. Oh, but that's the Malaysian one taking off now, I think, or was it the Philippines? I think it was one of the Malaysian ones. Or is it? Yeah, it's taking off. Beautiful. 7, 9 maybe? Not sure. Did they ask us anything with... Okay, release parking brake. And we will release the parking brake.
Clear for engine start.
Clear for engine start, that's good news. Since we have so many engines, we'll just go ahead. We'll start engine number 4 first. Left click and right. Oh, sorry. Like that. These ones should all be down. I'm not sure why they're up. Could have been when I did the cold and dark fiddling. I think this has pretty nice sound effects. Let's see once we get the engine started. They're not the noisiest, right? We have that one little... I mean, if you want to call the A340 engines APUs, the 300 models, these ones are definitely APUs. Small APUs. Okay, looking pretty solid. Let's just wait until... a bit until it stabilizes. It's a bit slower, right? When you have 4 engines, it takes a bit of time. Looks pretty good. Let's start engine number 3. And I'll jump back.
Pushback is complete. Set parking brakes and confirm.
I'm just gonna confirm good engine starts so we get rid of them. And once we wait for the engine number 3 to kind of stabilize, I'll ask for taxi clearance. Here we go, 4003, ready to taxi.
Air we go 4003 taxi to runway 27 left via taxiways Alpha, Lima 28, November.
And what do we have there, a 767, right?
Short runway 27
Look at that beauty.
Taxi to runway 27 left via taxiways Alpha, Lima 28.
I'm a big
November
fan of the
Bravo
767 actually.
Hold short runway
I
27
think,
left here we go 4003.
because I've been thinking about this a long time, like what's my favorite Boeing long hauler? I think it's 767. I don't know why, but I just kind of like, it's not too big. It's up there I think with the 777.
Target is disconnected and clear, and the bypass pin has been removed. See you at the side in a few minutes.
But I guess it's because it's like the first wide body with 2 engines from Boeing. There we go. We'll start engine numero 2. I'm also gonna put this on LNAV so I don't forget. We have that selected. You can see the flight director moving here. Let me see if you have to do something with with the source. 'Cause that's always something so you can have it on nav, or what's the difference? RNAV. I think this is the one we want to use, because this is like the normal nav. You can see with ILS here. Oh, and now I almost forgot to do the fuel cutoff lever. Now we're getting the left engines up and about. I'm just gonna have a quick look at the compass to make sure that we are following the right flight plan with the right aircraft, and it's looking good. Okay, I think that one is reasonably stabilized. We'll start engine number 1. And then you actually just need to do a right click. So almost 20. And then here we can have takeoff, power on. So that's pretty cool, right? You can choose these different settings. And I'm gonna do the taxi lights, which is the one down. Runway turn off lights. We'll do the ice protections. I don't think we need the engine ones, but we'll keep them on for now. We can, let me just have a look. We do need to do the generators. Put those on. Not sure why it's saying those are offline. The galley power I guess we should have had on. and then turn off the packs. I think you want to keep the ram air on while you're on the ground. Then we do number 4 for the engineer. And what else? What else? We need to put these on. And here we can do the auto brake fans. And let me just have a look if okay, so that's a bit concerning. We can't move our oh, there we go. Now we can. Good. Maybe it was actually one of these. Maybe it was the PTU pump that shouldn't have been on. Now let me just have a look if it actually works. The rudder works. Ailerons works. Yeah, looks like they're all working. That's good. I think you can also check it in the aircraft. I like to do that just to make sure. But I think there is somewhere. I am a bit forgetting now, but let's put on the weather radar whilst I think. But I'm 100% certain you can double check. Let's put in the flaps to 18. A bit of nose down, nose up in the trim. We can close that since we don't have any use of it. I think you can stow it maybe. Not what I can see. And let's have a look. We can shut the APU. Maybe it's enough to have one generator, that could be. Okay. And I'll push forward a bit so we can start taxiing down the runway. There's no one here, so we weren't really in a rush in that sense, apart from, of course, the airline wanting us to keep up. Alter disarmed, LNAV on. Let's have a look quickly if we have. We haven't put in the altimeter, so we can do that. Speed set. Beacons on, packs. Off if starting. Okay, so I should have the APU air on off. Fuel pumps on. Start power normal on. Yes. After start power normal. So we need to set that. And that fixed the gen issue as well. APU, yes, yes. TMS as required. Doors closed. Ground equipment removed. Yes. Okay, good. I think it's we have most of the things set somewhat nicely. I'm gonna close this. Okay, after APU with air off, right? Let me see if you put that back on once you do the descent or the approach. Okay, APU as required, APU air as required. Okay. So let's see. Hopefully we won't be taking off against another aircraft, but you'll never know. Or you can never know for sure. Okay, good. It seems like our air rack has started registering. You can see it here. And so that's good news. In terms of the taxiing, works pretty well. We have the tiller that we use. Oh, Do you have a, maybe the terrain display is non-inoperative, but you seem to have a button for it at least. Max, yeah, that makes sense. I think most things are looking pretty good. We got the taxi way. They actually want you to taxi from the other way. So what I'll do is I'll cross here at the next one. I'm not sure why they would give you such a taxiway. Maybe it's because of the way, you know, if aircraft would be landing, they would be going off on this side or something like that, but not 100% sure about that. There's only some small terminals here, right? That must be a 777, right? A Saudia. So let's turn off here just so we get on the right taxiway. And I'm actually gonna show you, I think I might have showed you in an earlier video, but okay, looks clear to the left. I guess you would normally have to request clearance to cross, but this is how, you know, so you can follow the taxiway, so we should have actually gone directly there, right? But I'm gonna just do it like that, hoping that this might help with the issues I've had with Prepar3d at this airport. Let's see. I'm also gonna have to make sure that I do follow the... Oh, look at that. Our assigned frequency is 12197. Why are we on COM2? Let's see, COM1, there we go. Okay, so we are on the right frequency, that's good. Oh, a lot of Saudi planes here. Is that 1787 maybe, and 1777? What do we have here? An Ethiopian, definitely a 777. We had a United hiding just behind that building. So some cool aircrafts. Now let's see, it actually wants me to go all the way around to get to the end, but I think we can taxi here, and or maybe if I want to see if this actually works, maybe I should taxi the correct way, even though it's a bit of a time waste. That could be good to check. You never know. Oh, now we got the tower handoff anyway. Oh well, you live and you learn.
Tower on 124.47 Air Wigo 4003.
So we're going a bit fast, right? You can see in the turns. It's really nice, the effects though from the engines. Little kind of vortexes coming out of it, coming out of the back of the engine. Here we go, 4003, ready for takeoff. Okay, clear for takeoff, that's good. At least this has gone good, so that's nice. We'll do the landing lights, which we should already have put on, to be honest, and the strobe. Let's have a look here. Pack 1 value, what's going on with that one? Let's see. Let's line up. Runway 34? What's this ATC on about? Is there a runway 34 there? Isn't one for Heathrow, or is there? I don't think so, right? It's 2. Then what's the opposite end? That's 9er, right? Maybe it's just the files, right? They're taking the files from different places, right? They don't have that many voice files. Could be. But okay. We have everything sort of set. It's looking good. We pray to all the mighty beings out there that this will go okay. And then we get started.
TMS set to take off.
Now let me see. Do you press somewhere to go into Toga, or do you basically just push forward and then the TMS will kinda fix that for you? Okay, let's see.
Power set N1 achieved.
Oh no, you have to do a bit
Speed
of...
alive both sides.
Okay, speed
80
alive.
knots cross-checked.
Yeah, a bit high the volume on that guy. Oh, I didn't set the
V1.
altimeter right.
Rotate.
300. Oh, we can rotate.
V2.
Okay, we'll rotate a bit later. Oh, there we go, we're airborne. I need to trim this one. We were not trimmed nicely.
Positive rate of climb, gear up.
Okay, let's do gear up. Look at that effect though, that's really cool. And these are like built in with the aircraft, right? There's no immersion package or similar. Okay, let's turn to the left. Or I guess they... No, they didn't ask anything specific, so we can just turn. One thing to know, which I forgot to say, let me see, runway turn lights can go to off, is that we do have some, of course, some payware add-ons, like True Earth, South England. And then we do also have True Earth for Netherlands, which we'll be flying over most of the time. Some photo reel for Belgium, freeware with Autogen, and then we also have, oh, let's push back a bit on the, I think maximum continuous thrust might be okay. Let's see, we're following that right, so we're trying to turn fast enough basically. Don't want to climb too fast. But they're looking very nice. It's really nice to True Earth, South England. Still trying to turn. Let me see if I can maybe put a nice like that, and then we have that arm, we have LNAV armed, then we can do autopilot. Let's see how it works. Now we're descending though, let's see if it is able to straighten itself up a bit. We're gonna push back the throttles a bit. But yeah, so in terms of the add-ons, in terms of the airport, that was the Simwings, Aerosoft, Heathrow, and then we also have the freeware NL2000 airport for Maastricht. God, I'm butchering that name. But EHBK. There to use the IKEA codes when you're butchering the names. And we're climbing to 6,000 feet now. No rush whatsoever. Oh, okay, so if you move you disconnect the autopilots, that's good to be aware of. So let me see then, can you with the pitch, can you affect the vertical speed? Seems like you can a bit at least. Okay, we can add a bit more thrust. We went also to maximum continuous thrust. Do we want to sync them? Nah, let's do maximum. I know TGT is, I guess, a common one to use as well. Now we don't remember exactly what they stand for. MCT is the easy one, right? Maximum continuous thrust. Okay, let's add a bit more thrust again. We're following quite nicely with the autopilot on. You can see here. It's always good to have this for just verification. Let's add a bit more thrust. And this pace will be there in over 1 hour. As you can see, when we add more thrust, we also add the aircraft pitches up. So that does make sense, right? The thrust automatically makes the aircraft pitch up a bit. Nothing contracting that, right? I guess on the Airbuses with the fly-by-wire you'll have some contracting effects to that. Let me throttle down a bit. And I'm actually gonna ask them, because I think did I even have to put in my cruising altitude? That's if I didn't, that's very interesting. I guess you don't.
118.47, take care, here we go, 4003. Center, here we go, 4003, climbing to flight level 060.
Can you set it now, or should you have done that like? Okay, we'll just leave it for now. We're still below the minimum or the speed thresholds. That's good. Don't know why that one always bugs, so I can't get rid of that now. But okay, we can still see the flight plan at least. Oh, we are 6,000. Why didn't it arm? Maybe it got reset, right? Let's go to our normal standard in the barrel reference. Okay, we're going a bit fast now. I'm gonna throttle down a bit. But yeah, it flies very nice. It's a good looking aircraft. You have some really nice angles. I think the one in front of the engine is really nice. Let's see if we have that. Yeah, there we go. With two of these small little things. Here you can see we don't really have anything in the cargo hold. Or you do have this one, right? But it doesn't really exist once you go into it, right? You get some of the effects from behind the engines. But here you can really see how nice True Earth looks. This really makes Prepar3d a good looking sim, I would say. Or a sufficiently good looking sim. Maybe a bit of the clouds are still looking a bit off since I have the 2D ones, but I kind of like the way that they work and do look more realistic. You know, not as good, but realistic. Okay, we're still a bit above the speed. We have been assigned to a other frequency, but for some reason it hasn't. We haven't changed to that, so that's very interesting.
Center, here we go, 4003 at flight level 060.
Yes, I need to pay attention to that a bit. For some reason it doesn't assign that well. And there we have London, right? I think the small airport is somewhere around here. London City Airport. It's probably the one right there. Should be right there. I just saw that the Orbex is offering an upgrade package, right, for the new version of the airport, but I'm still not sure if it's better looking. I mean, if it's worth it. It looked a bit flat. So we'll have a look. Okay, we're staying at this altitude since they do not seem to want to give us a higher altitude. Let's see if we see any aircrafts around us. I think 3 nautical miles is quite a low range for the TCAS. I'm wondering if we have anything that can increase the range. There we go, range 15, so now we have 5, 10. How up can you go? 20. Okay, 20 should be good enough. If you want to see any other aircrafts. In terms of our fuel situation, we have used almost 1,000. Is that kilos of fuel? I guess this is also kilos. So quite a bit already. We have used about, well, maybe not 1/10, but almost. So let's have a look at Prepar3d. We should soon be getting higher climb clearances. At least we get to enjoy the nice view of Orbex through Earth South. And it's really well optimized, that's the big thing. I mean, if I have lag, it's for the specific airports usually. And I mean, I have all the settings on for the airports, right? So it's not like I couldn't optimize from an FPS standpoint. Let's see, anything else we should do? We don't need the RAM air, I think, or the APU air, if I'm not mistaken, so those we could shut off. Okay, the VREF speeds are really low with this one, which makes sense, and it's kind of similar with the Avro RJ. Look at that, you can even tweak in what angle you want this one to be. That's cool. And like that as well. Okay, I'll give them that. Very nice. At flight level 060. Let me ask if we can get higher. Oh, now we got it finally.
Climb to flight level 130, here we go 4003.
Just took a while. And it's gonna be increasing quite quickly, so I'm gonna go up to our cruising altitude 23,000 already. Let's see if we do. We arm that. And I'm actually gonna shut the autopilot so I can just set ourselves in a nice climb. We'll climb a bit faster. So let's see if it can. Oh, that's how you do it. Sorry, you just move, right? And you set the, and then you press vertical speed. That's the way you do it. Sorry about that, guys. A bit of a stupid logic from my part. Not thinking of that, of course. So basically, if we want to change the vertical, we remove that, increase it. I'll increase our thrust simultaneously. We can increase our thrust even more. We'll be going into some clouds here, just as we are passing. Well, not quite yet, we still have a bit of land. We'll be flying, well, not the cliffs of Dover, but not far from. Okay, we're going a bit above, so what we can do is we can tweak our vertical speed even more. Bit of a rocket ship, this one. Having 4 engines on such a small plane really gives it a lot of thrust. Okay, let's see. 10,000 feet. Lights off. Let's add a bit more speed, nothing too crazy. I guess we're a bit above our supposed climb speed, so that's actually not the best. Okay, we got climbing clearance to fly the 190. And FMC has worked very well up until this point at least, so that's good to see. This will be a very short flight in terms of being on our cruising altitude, but it will do. We're losing a bit of speed. We should then change actually our vertical speed a bit. So I'm gonna pitch down a bit. That will be our new vertical. I guess we could also try the IIS, then you would just press that, and now it will just try to maintain the speed until we reach the altitude we've selected. So you can see it a bit decrease the descent rate, and now it will increase it again. So it's a bit more automatic in that sense. I guess I like the vertical speed mode just because of the control you feel. Let me have a look. Sorry about that, closing some Prepar3d stuff. And what I'll have a look at is I wanted to check GT mode, Just Flight 146. Let me see, so this is for the Microsoft manual, but it should be relatively the same. Turbine gas temperature. Okay, so it's related to this one, right?
Climb to flight level 230, here we go 4003.
230. Oh, that's our actually. That's it's not 250. I don't know why I thought it was 250. But this will do quite nicely. And I'm gonna decrease a bit our thrust, and that should mean that we will decrease our climb rate a bit. So let's have a look. Decreasing thrust. So for fun, if we do TGT sync, okay, then it's 600, so quite a bit lower. If you have maximum thrust, Okay, so a bit of a difference with those. Oh, and here you can tweak the TGT, right? Which makes sense. You can see we have slowly, with me pulling back on the throttles, we have slowly started climbing with a lot less vertical speed. But that should be fine. Let's pull it back a bit more, but nothing crazy. And I'm gonna leave it like this. I'll be right back. Not too much should happen. Might overspeed if I'm not able to get back once we kind of stabilize. But be right back.
Center on 125.0, here we go 4003. Contact 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 center on 125.0, here we go 4003.
Okay. There we go.
Contact center on 125.0.
Okay, we're climbing
4003.
very slow with this IS mode. Let's see if we can climb a bit faster with the vertical one. And we're still not changing frequency ourselves, or the co-pilot isn't being helpful. There we go.
Center, here we go
There we
4003,
go.
climbing to flight level 230.
Okay, soon at our cruising altitude. Looking pretty good with our engines. At least I have no complaints. You can here see the difference between True Earth Netherlands, I think. No, sorry, this must be Belgium. So True Earth France and Belgium, maybe. Potentially, at least. Or no, maybe this is just different scenery, actually. It's either that or then this is True Earth Netherlands. But let me check, I'm not sure Netherlands goes this far south. We might be missing something. Let's see. No, it is Netherlands actually. Damn, it goes really far south. Belgium doesn't have that much of a port at all. A lot of a lot of the area is covered, like even Antwerpen is surrounded by Netherlands. Guess Belgium needs to keep the Dutch happy. Okay, let's see. We're now at our climbing altitude. We have an assigned frequency which we are on.
Center, here we go 4003 at flight level 230.
Okay, and we are at our flight level. But we're getting nothing back. This will be interesting. Let's see if they give us some sort of descent clearance or if we're having the same bug flying here as we've had before. Because we're flying kind of a similar route as when we flew to Belgium or to Brussels. But then, yeah, I didn't think of changing the frequencies myself. Let's have a look now. We moved a bit forward in our flight plan. So next one is Nick. There we go. That was how easy it was to get rid of that. Sorry about that, guys. A bit rusty with all these small things to remember for each plane. But yeah, looking pretty good. I think we have a pretty good setting in terms of the speed and everything. Maybe going a bit slower than we'd need to. I can increase it a bit. Our thrust will go a bit above our maximum continuous thrust. But that's fine. Let's see if we do sync here. Oh yes, it's two different kind of modes. Interesting. Okay, maximum continuous, let's just continue with that. We're around 15 minutes till landing. 17 to be exact. Still looking good on the outside. But yeah, this is a pretty good place to kind of see the difference between True Earth and the real, just the photoreal with autogen. And it's not that big of a difference, it's more a bit of coloring. It's more in the details when you get lower down, right? Because the photoreal is higher quality in the True Earth one. So that's just good to be aware of. But you don't really think of that unless you're flying like kind of like this when you're seeing both of them up and about. Let me see. The weather radar doesn't seem to be saying anything about the weather at EHBK 10A18. That's pretty good. Not that much wind. Let's do a bit of our approach planning. And it's not supported. That's jolly. Not by ChartFox. So we will need to get it from our own documents. I think I have it saved, let's hope at least. And of course I do not seem to have it saved. So annoying. Let's be EHBK. We have some aerodrome charts. Oh, we are overspeeding like crazy. Damn, it really picked up the speed. Where's the warning sounds though? There should be like warning sounds blaring all over the cockpit. Okay, and we still haven't gotten any descent clearance, so that's not good. We'll start descending ourselves. We should be around 2000, I'm gonna assume. Once we get to the destination. But let's do it a bit higher, like 4000 usually is a good starting point. I hate that Prepar3d has such issues at these kind of airport. We'll assign that, then do vertical. Or we'll actually do IIS. Try to maintain this speed. I think this is pretty good speed. So let's see. Okay, now we're descending like crazy though, so I'm gonna go back to vertical. Oh, sorry. That was not my... Now I'm flying a bit crazy. Like that. I will just pull back on the throttles a bit. And whilst we descend, I think we're flying over Antwerpen here. Or is it more to the north? I think it's here, right? Could be wrong. Could be wrong though, so don't quote me on that. While we do that, I'm just going to try to see if I can find some charts for this airport. I'm sure there are some available. Okay, there seems to be some online ones. We're doing runway 3 right, so we can do the ILS one. So here we go, we found it online. And that means, let's have a look. A localizer 111.55 I think. Okay. So let's see if we can change the... Yeah, it looks like we can do it like that. And then switch it. Good. That is very good news. In terms of minimums for the ILS, we have this different categories. So category 1, A, B and C. Just gonna use A. They are quite similar, around 500. So just do 510. That's our decision height. There we go. Now we have that set. Let's descend a bit faster, nothing too crazy. Just don't want to be caught with our pants down.
Contact center on 125.0. Center Air Wigo 4003 descending to 4,000 feet.
We're not getting anything from the Brussels, they're just ignoring us. Guess they don't like us. Okay, so since we don't have that, we'll just, I guess, listen to it in the background and try to follow the flight plan by looking a bit at Prepar3d to kind of see what our altitude restrictions should be and that sort of stuff. And let me see if there is anything else we need to do, but I don't think so. Things are still looking good, so no stress. We're kind of at the same flight level we should be now at Sunday 175. And next one will be LSIC, where we should be at 165. So we're descending quite on schedule, so to speak. We have about 11 minutes left until we land. Let me just have a look. Missed approach track 131. And then climb to 2000 and inform ATC. Well, look at that. They 4,000 feet.
Expect the OSGO-1 Tango arrival with the OSGO's transition with vectors for the ILS Zulu approach to runway 03 Air Wigo 4003.
We don't need to descend that fast. I'm just going to give a bit more thrust.
And descend via the OSGO-1 Tango arrival with the OSGO's transition.
We don't seem to have that much fuel left though.
Altimeter is 3006 Air Wigo.
That's about 6,000 pounds. It's not that much. We've already used almost 4,000.
4003.
1.0.2 10 and then 2. There we go.
Approach Air Wigo 4003 descending to flight level 040.
And we're continuing to descend. Let's make sure that once we reach 10,000 we keep to that speed threshold of 250. Here it looks really nice, the autogen from the freeware Matthias. I think Belgium is one of the better places he made actually. It just looks really nice. I was even thinking if I should get like the Priosoft Brussels, but I don't think I need it with his. That would just be like a on top purchase. Whilst we wait a bit here, I'm just gonna have a look if there's been some sales, because soon we have crossed the pond, right? So there's usually quite a bit of sales, but I haven't seen any good ones yet. Nothing to act upon. I try to be quite picky with the things I buy, in the sense that I should only buy things I actually want. Of course that changes a bit once you start flying in different areas. I want to have some new airports in the Middle East, for example, some in Saudi Arabia maybe. It would be nice to have the Etihad hub, Abu Dhabi, right? OMAA. Muscat would be nice. Bahrain, those sort of places. Looking pretty good. Some low cloud layers, but nothing that seems to be close to where we are heading. So we're going to go straight and then to the right, and then I think the airport is somewhere around here. So we're at 13,000 now. Let's pull back a bit on the throttles. Let's pitch up a bit. Descend a bit slower. There's no rush. At Sorat we should be at 125, and we are already a bit below that almost. We do have a VNav one, right? So I guess you could have some sort of path. I guess that's not an advisory one, but maybe not like as modern of a VNav. Not sure if it's functional. Should really have put in these altitude restrictions. Don't know how I forgot to do that. I guess I'm too used to the modern aircrafts, right? Where it's all automated. Okay, turning a bit to the right now. It's been following the FMC really well as of now. So I've been very content. I wonder what airport that is. Maybe a military one. I don't think it's Eindhoven. Eindhoven is a bit further to the north. Oh yeah, it's definitely not, because this is in Belgium. We can see it on the photo reel. Here we really see the difference, right? You have the True Earth, and then you have the Belgium. But it actually meshes quite well. It's not like I think about it all the time, but just good to point out, I guess, in case some of you are a bit uncertain about getting a photo reel, that you can have those. But usually, you'll fly mainly in the country, right? And when you're getting down below to actually see the differences, it's usually not that bad. Okay, let's see here. Now it's turning quite a bit earlier than the Pilot to ADC one. So that's very interesting. It's not as accurate, right? I'm gonna pull back on the yoke. Quite a bit actually. We might as well almost go to idle. And we can increase a bit our descent rate. Nothing crazy, but just a tiny amount. Because we should be at around 7,000 feet once we get to Bogru. Could that be the case while we turned that we didn't have... No, we did have Bogru. About 7 nautical miles. So we just took a bit of a shortcut, which I guess makes sense. We're soon below 10,000, so just to prepare for that, we'll put on the landing lights. I'll just put on this RAM and APU air so we don't forget that. Nothing else I think that needs to be done as of now. We're getting on the nav, so that's good. In terms of the course, actually, that might be good to check for. That's gonna be around 3.1. So nav 1 course 3.1. Then we'll need to remember to switch the what's it called? The nav mode, right? Once we get on the approach. Okay, so we're a bit high now. But on the other side of things, we do have a bit of leeway to descend a bit faster. So let's use that to our advantage. And we've actually been given now a heading, so maybe we can actually go to heading mode. And let me see though. Why am I totally blanking now? Heading. Where did you do the heading on this one? I'm actually, while we wait, I'm gonna go back to LNav. How can I be blanking this badly, right? You don't have any switches here, so it must be logically somewhere else. You don't have it down there. Where's that goddamn heading switch? My god, I've totally lost it now. There it is. There it is. Well, since we didn't get the approach, we didn't get anything, I didn't hear anything at least, so we'll just follow this route. This is what I hate, like it's somehow bugged, right? So we got the vectoring, but not really that much more. I guess we didn't get anything, but oh well, could be worse. Oh, let me just move this one so you don't have to watch it. Okay, we're a bit high still. I'm gonna throttle down even more. And then I'm actually gonna go on heading mode because I don't want us to turn too early. Oh, the problem is the air supply now, right? Because we don't have, we don't get anything from our engines without the bleed. And let me see if I can. Now what should our altitude be for the airport? 2,500. So let's do that to 2,500. We can change this so we get the ILS. We can stop a bit with the spoilers, we're going quite a bit slow. Maybe even a bit too slow. We can start turning in, I think a bit at least with the heading. So we'll go kind of at the same, like the opposite direction of it. And then we can start turning to the right. My god, this this one really went crazy. I think it's like kind of all the radio calls we should have gotten. And let me see, for approach,
Glide slope armed.
yeah,
Heading 215 vectors to the ILS Zulu approach for runway 03 descent and maintain
I
flight
think it's
level
GSL,
050
right?
Air Wigo 4003 heading 215 Air Wigo.
And now we can turn quite a bit.
Contact tower on 119.47 Air Wigo 4003.
2500.
Yeah, 2500, we should stay at that until we get closer, so we get the ILS. We can actually turn like crazy now. I'm gonna add quite a bit of spoilers now, and the spoilers are interesting, right, with these BAe, because they're here at the back. And let's start to try and get on the right.
Speed checked below 205. Select flap speed check below 205. Select gear down.
Contact tower on 119.47 Air Wigo 4003.
Now let's see if we can get on the glide slope.
Glide slope captured.
There we go, it's activated now. We need to add a bit of... Oh, interesting, glide slope was captured before the localizer. Not sure how correct that is, but there we can see the runway. I'll turn on the runway exit lights.
Speed checked below 180.
I'll drop the landing
Select
gear.
flaps 24.
Let's see if we get on the localizer in time.
Speed checked below 170. Select flaps 30.
I guess GSL is
Contact
both.
tower on 119.47 Air Wigo 4003.
Okay, let's go to flaps full. Here we go, 40. Oh, God. Oh, I remember the altimeter. We need to set that in 118.
Wilco Air Wigo 4003 altimeter is 3006 tower on 119.47
Let's see if it does the localizer
Air
now.
Wigo 4003.
Let's add a bit of speed. Here we go, 4003, established on final. And we're getting no communication from them. Oh, that's the why we need the localizer, but I'm gonna...
Autopilot disconnected.
That was a mistake on my behalf. I guess you need to have them both on. So that's just the glide slope, right? And then you would have the...
Localizer captured.
That's the localizer one.
Contact tower on 119.47 Air Wigo 4003.
Oh, that's probably why we couldn't.
Established on the ILS.
Okay, that's good. Here we go, 40. Oh, God, this guy.
For ILS approach runway 03.
Here we go, 4003, established on final. Still no. You're just ignoring us. I think 117 was our VRF speed, so we're quite sufficient. Let's see, we're approaching decision height as well. Continue. We're probably not going to get a landing clearance because of the bugs.
400. 300.
300, we're a bit low.
Flight slow, flight slow, flight slow, flight slow, flight slow, flight slow, flight slow,
Yeah,
flight
I know,
slow,
I know.
flight slow, flight slow, flight slow, flight slow, flight slow, flight
Let's
slow,
see.
flight slow.
50.
30. 20. 10.
There we go.
Ground idle.
It was a bit delayed. Let's just go all the way to the end. No need to brake yet.
Brake pressure seen.
Maybe we can add some spoilers.
Yellow and green spoilers.
Yeah, looking pretty good.
80 knots.
And let's see, I think we can turn off
60 knots.
right at the end. Now we can just go to the left there, I think. Yeah. Not the best scenery, this one, compared to some of the other ones, but it's pretty okay, I would say. Let me see, is there any difference though in terms of which one is maintenance and which one is... I don't know. Let's just do the left one. Can't make too much of a difference anyway. Yeah, let's put in some trust. Let's start the APU. So logically you should be able to have the... Why is the start power on? Maybe it was because of the APU, right? I'm gonna shut Pilot ADC just because it bugged out again. These UK to Europe flights aren't its forte. I guess it wasn't a fan of Brexit. Or something to that effect. Let's see here, we'll turn a bit to the left. And then we can park here. At the first one, I'm not sure what gates these are, so I'm not gonna be fiddling with GSX, but I think I can get it quite nicely on the point. Let's arm the parking brakes. Let's have a look. APU power is available, so we'll put on the... Guess we can put on the airs, shut these packs, and then close these engines, all 4 of them.
Cabin crew, doors to manual and cross check.
So yeah, pretty good lined up. We don't really have any cabin crew though, so I don't know why they have those. Maybe you can... I guess they're kind of built in these voice calls. But yeah, good. That was a okay flight. Our landing rate was 102. So pretty good landing rate. And we were within our fuel. That's good. So I'm gonna submit PyRep. PyRep file. Thank you for flying with Airwe Cargo. That's great. Now what we can do is just watch our landing. Don't think we have to go far back, so this should be enough. So yeah, some mistakes again with the approach, all these different settings with all these different planes. It's the thing I forget the most, unfortunately. But yeah, beautiful scenery. You can see it's beginning to become fall. I actually like that, you know, the ground scene doesn't change, but the trees change. Due to photoreal not, you know, I think True Earth Netherlands have both winter and summer photoreal, but most don't. Okay, so let's see. I think we're pretty okay on the glide slope. I think we do float a bit, because I get a bit afraid here at the end. So I pitch up a bit too much, not a lot, but just enough. And there we land, at least within the runway touchdown zone. So that's good. Quite firm. And yeah. So very nice. Let's see if we can see the spoilers be deployed on this one. Or if those are... At least the back ones you can see. You can't see the top ones. So the replay function is okay, but not the best. Yeah, and here we have some KLM aircraft. Are those statics though? Let me have a look. I'm gonna... Those must be statics, because we only have a max, right? Not sure KLM has maxes, but maybe they do and I'm wrong in that regard. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this flight. If you have any questions, feel free to put them down below in the comment section. Otherwise, I wish you a good day. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.